All right, today we're diving into Namhansanseong, this absolutely incredible mountain fortress in Korea. Now, this wasn't just some wall on a hill. It was a kingdom's last hope. You could even call it an emergency capital, built to survive when everything else was about to fail. So let's find out how it all worked.
I want you to imagine something for a second. An invading army is knocking at your front door. Your capital city is completely indefensible, and the fate of your entire nation is literally on your shoulders. What do? I mean, where do you even go?
Well, for Korea's Joseon Dynasty, the answer was pretty amazing. You build an emergency capital high up in the mountains, a fortress of last resort. And this is it. This is Namhansanseong.
So, you might be wondering, why? Why go to all this trouble? Well, that's the crucial point. This incredible structure wasn't built just because. It was born from a very, very real strategic problem.
See, back in the Joseon Dynasty, the capital, Haenggung, what we now call Seoul, was basically sitting in a basin. Great for a city, but not so great for fending off invaders from the north. They desperately needed a backup plan, a defensible shelter for the king and his entire government. And Namhansanseong, just 25 kilometers away, was the perfect spot. Close enough to get to in a hurry, but tough enough to hold off a massive army.
And boy, was its worth proven. In the winter of 1636, King Injo and his court were holed up here for 47 long, brutal days during the Second Manchu invasion. Think about that. It was a desperate, harrowing siege that really cemented this fortress's place in Korean history forever.
Okay, so this is where it gets really cool. It's all about how this fortress was built. This wasn't just about putting up stone walls, no. This was a total masterclass in using the landscape itself as a weapon. The builders were so smart. They didn't try to fight the mountain, they worked with it. The walls stretch for over 12 kilometers, and they just snake along the highest, steepest ridges. This genius move turned the mountain's own slopes into the first, and honestly, the most powerful line of defense.
And the real genius is in the layers of defense. So you've got the natural terrain, and then on top of that, they added all this clever engineering. They built 5 reinforced outposts called ongsong to protect the weakest points. And, maybe the most important part, they included this whole network of secret gates.
That's right, 16 secret gates. These gates, or amun, were absolutely vital. They were hidden from the enemy, so they allowed the defenders to sneak troops and supplies in and out, or even launch surprise attacks. So this wasn't just some static, dead wall. It was a living, breathing stronghold that could fight back. But here's the thing you've got to understand. Namhansanseong was never just a military base. It was designed from the ground up to be a fully functioning, self-sufficient city inside the walls, a whole capital in miniature. At its heart was the emergency palace, the Haenggung. This was basically a complete, downsized royal court, ready to house the king and all his officials so the government could keep running the country, even while being totally surrounded by enemies.
The military nerve center, the command post for the whole operation, was the Suojangdai. It was perched at the highest point, giving the commanders the best possible view of the entire battlefield. It's actually the only one of the original 5 command posts that's still standing today, a real monument to the fortress's military strength.
And if you really want to get the vibe of this place, just listen to this phrase, to use a spear as a pillow. That's what Chimgwaejong, the name of an administrative building here, actually means. It perfectly captures that spirit of constant readiness, of always being prepared for a fight. And get this, the defense force had a really unique element, warrior monks. Temples just like this one, Jeongyangsa, were home to monk soldiers who didn't just help build the fortress, they were also a crucial part of its permanent garrison, blending their spiritual lives with military duty.
So, when you put it all together, the royal ancestral shrines, the busy markets and homes for thousands of regular residents, the picture becomes crystal clear. This wasn't just an empty shell waiting for a fight. It was a complete microcosm of the capital, ready to support an entire community and hold out for a very long time.
But, the story doesn't stop in the Joseon Dynasty. Not even close. The fortress has had this incredible second act, transforming from this hardcore military stronghold into a cherished sanctuary.
I mean, just look at this transformation. It's absolutely remarkable. What was once a military stronghold is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The emergency capital is now a beloved cultural park. A symbol of resistance has become this vibrant hub for tourism and education that's open to the whole world.
And you can literally see that incredible continuity right here. On the left, we've got a view from the early 20th century, and on the right, what it looks like today. Just notice how the walls trace those exact same mountain ridges. The spirit of the place is still there, just incredibly preserved through all that time.
And this isn't just ancient history we're talking about. The effort to keep this story alive is happening right now. Just this year, in 2024, a brand new Namhansanseong Historical Museum opened its doors, making sure that the complex, amazing history of this place will be shared for generations to come.
You know, all of this leaves you with a really fascinating thought, doesn't it? Namhansanseong was built for conflict. It's a monument to a desperate struggle for survival. And yet today, people come here for peace, for nature, for a connection to history. So how exactly does a place forged in war become such a powerful symbol of peace and cultural endurance?